What's up, guys? It's your girl, Victoria J from 12th Street Talk Back, where transparency is our love language. You guys know that transparency is very important to me because I believe it's the key to bridging the communication gap. Bridging the communication gap in our community amongst our generations has been very near and dear to my heart for a very long time. And I've been working feverishly to spark the heart conversations in our community. As the world changes, people change, life experiences can change us. Sometimes it can be hard to express yourself to the ones that you love. We all suffered something during the pandemic, some more so than others. Life can be like an emotional roller coaster, and that's why I'm grateful to BetterHelp. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. Guys, did you know with BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists that can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, all you need to do is to answer a few questions about your needs and preferences during therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with a licensed therapist from their network. Then sit back, relax, and you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable via text, phone, video call. You can even schedule live sessions. And if your therapist is not the right fit for you for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. With BetterHelp, you get the same quality and professionalism that you can expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist that is custom picked for you. More scheduling, flexibility, and the best part of all, at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/12th Street. That's better, HELP.com/12th Street. I've also linked it in the description below. Let's start bridging the communication gap together. Welcome back to Freedom Fridays. I'm your girl, Victoria J.
And I'm MizReRe.
And she MizReRe. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back, MizReRe. We went on a sabbatical.
I like that one, yes.
We went on a sabbatical. Life was lifing. Oh, gosh. Before I start talking, let me go ahead and say this quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the fellowship today. Thank you for your grace and mercy, Father God. Thank you for the very breath that we're breathing on this day. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. This is what I meant to tell you, girl. Because y'all, we haven't seen each other. Like, we don't FaceTime. We just talk on the phone a lot. And we didn't even talk on the phone last week. And it was my birthday last week. I turned 52, guys, last week. Yeah, I know. Happy birthday to me. But this is what I meant to tell you. Our audience missed us. Some of our old videos, one of them had 52 views and one of them had 57 views. So they missed us. Y'all missed you, girls. They missed the crazy crew. I like those glasses. You got so many different pair.
Girl.
I was doing a U last week. These are my prescriptions, and I'm trying to get, my husband, he's so critical and I'm so sensitive. He didn't like them when I first bought them. I bought these glasses 3 years ago when I was sitting in my chair after I had my back surgery, just ordering stuff because I was bored, and I had just had my eyes checked, and I went on Zulu, and they was like $9 for the frames, but by the time they added the prescription, it was like 80 some bucks. But they 3 years old and I had lost them, but I said, I'm getting old and I look cross-eyed, so go ahead and put on your glasses, Victoria. But I'm getting ready to go get Look,
This colored nail polish.
that's yours.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It's the same color. You remember the story of why I wear this nail color?
Yes, Brent.
No, okay, I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Took a lot of somebody. But this was the one day he was just like, oh my god, like that color, like it looks good. He went on and for that day, I have never ever worn another color.
Get out.
It's been over 30 some odd years.
Get
And it's
out.
funny because I remember one time, this is when I was living in North Carolina, my New York Eye State, and my mother got it. She wanted to borrow this is my nail polish. And I think I had how many, I forgot what I had, how many got collateral. But it was way more than that.
You left somebody leave something.
It was like a bottle watch. It was like something really expensive. What for that? Can I lose $1.99 nail polish?
Girl, you was something.
That's called co-open because we didn't have no gel polish.
Girl, what?
And it dry your nails like instantly. That's what I used to do with nails.
Mm-hmm.
I had it going on, y'all.
Girl, she did. I was just getting ready to say that. They don't believe us, but you had it going on more. So I think, well, let me just put it this way. You had it going on in your world. I had it going on in my world. We didn't mesh until you went all the way back up top. Like we were cool, but not like we worked hard for this friendship.
Yeah.
We worked very, very hard for this friendship because y'all, I'm a handful. I was a patient first. I was a yeah, right. Look, I was getting ready to give them my lineup. I was a customer, then I was a patient because she was my therapist, my motivational coach. And now I done graduated from being out of therapy some days to best friend status. Man, I got it going on.
Victoria is definitely going to be this big
Yeah.
crash. I don't want to say the word dummy, but we'll think of a nice word. But y'all know who them crash dummies? Remember they used to have the commercials?
Yeah. Yeah.
Victoria is going to be that person.
I'd be like, why I got to do such and such?
Exactly. You be like, what I'm going to do now? What I got to do now?
What Pinky and the Brain got me up to today. But listen, I was gonna tell you, I think I'm gonna mention this one last time and then I'm gonna give it a rest. I got an email from the cruise line today about the money we put down for the cruise. And you guys, if you want to jump on board, this is the last time you're gonna hear me mention it. And those that are already on board, we gonna make it do what it do. And was it 25 or 24? Was it 25? 25. And that's just it. So, if you want to go, you can head on over to 12thstreettalkback.com and leave us a message. You don't even have to go to the Yahoo. You can go straight to the website. Girl, yeah, you're my co-host.
You might have to edit this one out.
Oh, look.
Because the way I see it, nobody else joins us. We're definitely doing it for us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I want to say to that.
Yeah, we gonna change it. Because the only reason why we did it to the Bahamas, and we said we weren't going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because that's how I'm feeling today. The only reason why we did it to the Bahamas is it made sense when you have a large group of people taking that amount of time off from work. But those are the small group that we have now. We might even change it to a 7-day Bermuda or something.
I definitely said
So if
I'm going. Me and the
Mhm.
it's counting down days. If we go on the website, I go to make my payment. It says how many days you got left.
I know, I know, I know. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Girl, I'm trying to win this Carolina $5 scratch off. It's only in North Carolina. The Carolina Panthers. Look, I always tell God every time I go get a ticket, I say, well, you know, the last time they casted lots was for your clothes, and when Judah burst. So I'm casting lots one more time. Look, I always got a whole story to talk to him about why I'm buying that ticket. But seriously though,
I have to go, and I'm going to use the way I have to because it's just a mental thing.
Yeah.
I told him I don't have any kids.
Mhm.
When I say kids, don't be like you want the number. No, don't come at the girl. Don't come at the girl.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But I don't know. Every Mother's Day, that's gonna be my treat.
Mhm.
It's okay for me to be a mother, be a stressed out mother, turn out being a mother effer because of rage and everything else, and I'm the only one who got scammed. Even if I take my back or if I'm in my workspace or whatever, I'm still there. It's still accessible.
Jesus wept. That's all I'm gonna say.
I really need to get that shirt. I was left unattended. I forgot what it said. Something like that.
Don't leave you unattended. What's been going on in your life? Because I've been seeing a lot of activity on them Book of Faces and that Graham. What's been going on in your life? Because you got a whole lot going on.
Oh, thank God. I got a lot. And the way I look at it, I thank God that I got a lot going on because I didn't necessarily have to be here.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on and a lot going. But it's funny because as much as I didn't see me go away this year, I had so many appointments, doctor's appointments,
Mhm.
and just honestly, now like right now, I'm outside. I had a doctor's appointment today, and I'm outside. So it's like wellness. You gotta take care of yourself.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing. It's mental wellness.
Mhm.
Mental wellness.
Mhm.
Nothing like that, because you ain't gonna get that.
You know,
You gotta take care of yourself.
you're right about that because I was I don't know. I was saying we live in a generation that therapy is a big thing now, but we live it's not even just the generation. Um my wording has changed over this year, because now mentally I'd be like, I need a vacation from being a stay-at-home wife, and I don't do nothing all day. But when you're used to working like we were working and out and being the mother in front of the bacon and bringing it home in the pan, and when it goes down to like me, and your lifestyle has changed dramatically due to medical stuff, it starts to mess with you mentally. And I remember back in the day, we used to say, I don't know what such and such complaining for. She got a whole husband that's a doctor or a lawyer, and she sit at home and all she do is cook and take care of cleans. Girl, I would trade places with her in a minute. No, I wouldn't mentally. No, I would. I can say that today.
Especially because I mean, what I was an entrepreneur and doing here and all that other stuff up until my late 20s. Then I moved back to New York. Then I was a stay-at-home wife. Then I went back into the workforce. Then I had Malika, and then that's when I was the I worked over at what do you call that? The phone company, and I was a manager. I had that. It was, it was interesting how I got that raise and how I got that position and all that other stuff. That by no reason I complain. I'm very, very blessed. But I think that was like maybe 7 to 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had Malika, and then I didn't work anymore. So I've been stay at home mom for almost 20 years at this point, because she'll be 20 in February.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many people friend, wait a minute, I put you up over it. How many people would assume that, girl, you do nothing all day?
Miss
Am
Riri,
I
there you go. You know what? The
okay?
whole time we've been still on the phone and on Zoom.
Nah. Are you
I
for
just hung
real?
up on you.
Are you for real?
Well, I had the phone right here to the mic. This mic picks up everything, so you can hear you. You can hear you.
You ain't hear that echo back, that feedback. I'm supposed to hear the
No,
feedback.
no, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. My neighbors don't know, but this little $14.99 Target Heyday mic, I don't care if you're whispering a conversation on the
Are you
third
for real?
floor, it picks up it. I can hear their whole conversation. The
Wow.
entire conversation. They ain't even got to be talking loud. So when they talking loud, I really hear their conversation.
Wow. Wow.
This little $14.99 mic be picking up some stuff.
Girl, let me find out. Be putting it down.
Let me find out, girl. Let me find out. But go back to what you were saying before I so
I
rudely interrupt you.
you would have to tell me what I was saying because I don't remember what track I
You
was
was
on.
talking about, like, we were talking about mothers and mental health and
Oh, this
um
basically, yeah, why it's so important to take care of yourself and your mental health. And I know, oh, I probably was talking about how people was like, I would do anything for your life, and you at home and you don't do anything. People
mhm,
assume because you at home that you do nothing. I
mhm,
wish all I did have to do was take care of my own child. Okay, that would be a blessing. Wow. You
mhm.
didn't hold into account that this child had special needs. Now,
Right.
every child has special needs when they get child. They
Mhm,
specially need their mama. But she had paperwork. She was definitely special needs. So it was
mhm,
like not just because she's my child and she's special, she was my child and she had different needs.
mhm.
And so that made me a 24/7. And that was one of the main reasons why I left the workforce, is because I couldn't imagine anybody else taking care of my child because her needs were that. It was like
Mhm,
I couldn't see someone else being that impressionable on and for her that
mhm,
she didn't take to me, or that I had to threaten her. I'm going to tell Miss Crabtree on you if you don't listen. No, like
mhm,
you need to listen to me. So
mhm.
I needed to be that person. Growing up, I had that person. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. So it was just like I don't know. I just felt that was what I needed to do. And by no means it's not for everybody,
It's
because I
not.
had to make my life special. I had to make it so I was not just a stay-at-home mom, that she was my only focus. We
Yeah.
still got to do things. We like, and then on top of that, she was homeschooled. So she's never been in a traditional school setting. So
I
we had
don't
to
think
make our life a life. Like, so I didn't
yeah.
lose focus. I can still interact with other adults. She could still interact with other children. I still kept that's another blessing. A lot of times when you become a parent, you can lose friends. Especially when you are a stay-at-home parent, you can lose friends.
Mhm.
Then when you have a child with special needs, oh my, I can't even begin to tell you how you lose people in your life.
Left
But
and
that's
right.
why you got to be careful who you put in your life. I can
Mhm.
say I lost no one during that transition. If
Mhm.
anything, I gained. Now, where I did lose two people, and again, that's a blessing. And I say I lost them, but God is probably chastising me right now. Like, you ain't lose them. They served their purpose for the
Yep.
season that you needed
Mhm.
them to be in.
Mhm.
But whereas I thought they was like that person and stand the test of time type, and like that, you find out. But by no means would I begrudge them, because I know they served their purpose for that season. They were not
Mhm.
meant to go every leg of every race with me.
Mhm.
And that's what happened. I just thank God that I'm still standing. And that's what I got to be grateful for. That's what I got to be grateful for.
I never did tell you. I think you did a fabulous job with Malika and
Thank
Miana
you. Thank you.
because I can't imagine. I don't have that patience. You always had that patience.
Thank you. And you know what? I don't even think it's so much pain. I'm just so sardonic.
You
It's just
so
like,
comical.
yeah,
It's
it's just,
like,
yeah. So it's just like, if you don't get up off that ground, because it's not this, if you only knew what you look like right now, like it's, it would just be little things like that. Like, it was serious. Situations were serious, but it would just be funny to me.
yeah. Well, in any event, I think you did an amazing job. And
Thank you.
the little one
Thank
is going off to a school this year that you don't get to go. How do you feel about that?
I felt different, but what touched me was when we went to our orientation and we're driving on our way to the orientation, and she was like, "Well, Mom, can you at least just be like on the PTA or the SLT, like still be
Oh,
involved?" And I was like, "You going to high school? Like you still want me to be involved?" And I said, "I'm gonna be up in there trip walking, like making a joke on my walking and all this other stuff." And the fact
mm-hmm.
that she's still in, because she's an introvert and she's going through her all, that teen rage black stage, and
Yeah,
you don't know them for about at least 3 to 4 years. You don't know what's happening, but
right.
she still wants me to be a part of her life. And so
Mm-hmm.
when we went to the orientation, and I got to meet the principal, and she's nudging me because she of course then she doesn't want to talk, and I'm like, okay. So, and I'm like, well, what's the, because I didn't think to ask about the PTAs and the SLCs, because again, I'm trying to stick to like adult type situations for this young lady. I don't want
Right.
to make it like I'm going to be that overbearing mom that still
Mm-hmm.
needs to wing her way in. And she still wanted me in. So I, spoke to him about that, and they welcomed me, and I was like, yeah. But the blessing about it all is her former school that I also used to work at. They was like looking at me like, "Why you won't be back?" And I'm like, "Because I don't have a child here." Like they're like, "No," So that felt really good that they still want me to be a part of the school,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that she's because my daughter was on a newspaper team and headed a debate team and all that other stuff. They still are expecting her to have a piece of that. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I went to talk to them about alumni and all the other stuff, I went all prepared for all of this. And then it was like, yeah, yes, you can, write a column. And yes, yeah, like, yeah. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a blessing. And again, that's why I said, you got to know who you put in your life.
Right.
Those were solid people. And
Mm-hmm.
we built a solid relationship. And even though I don't have a child there, that's not what our relationship was about. They wasn't just a principal or just a guidance counselor or just a dean. And also my friend, because I had a child there. Well, my child is no longer there. They're still like, okay, but the relationship that we have still needs to go on. I still
Mm-hmm.
expect you to da 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 da. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I say all that to say, and I know I said a lot, but be careful who you let in your life. Be
Mm-hmm.
careful who you let in your children's life, because
Mm-hmm.
now these are lifers.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Mm-hmm.
lifers.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's everything happens for the goodness that it's supposed to. We don't know. The two people that are no longer a part of my life, I would have never assumed that it would be such.
Right.
But they did what they were supposed to do when they were supposed to do it. And when God no longer seemed fit for them to carry on that road, they just did it. And I didn't suffer like bills, a particular bill didn't get paid because they're not in my life, or like nothing changed, other than the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I never heard from them again. While
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a stroke, or while I had the coma, Michael never heard from these people. When I
Mm-hmm.
came out, they never called to wish me well. Like, I mean, when I say it was just radio silence, it was just
Mm-hmm.
radio silence. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just like, wow, I would have thought better than that. It wasn't like, okay, I tried to talk to her and she's all mumbly and I don't want to talk to nobody sick and all that. Yeah, I'm talking when you no longer could serve a purpose and somebody's
Mm-hmm.
gone. that lets you see what your role was in their life. But for both of those people, it was Girl Scouting, but we had a relationship outside of Girl Scouting. But when I no longer could be that Girl Scout leader, that relationship, and again, that's another thing why you got to be careful on how things are intertwined, because they were my friend. I was the Girl Scout leader, so it's you lose a lot of things in that one person. But I use the word loss or lose, but we all know that God is like, no, that ain't the case. And we all know that's not the case, because anything that's supposed to be yours is never going to be that far removed.
Right.
Sometimes you got to make room for a new addition, for a better addition. And
well, I got a whole lot to say about that.
I needed to clear my plate, honestly. Even with my stroke and the aneurysm, I needed to clear my plate. And there was a lot of things that it was just like I felt obligated. I sat on I sat on a lot of boards. I did a lot of I did a lot of things. And a lot of things I did, it was out of obligation. And so God said, you know what? Here we go. And I didn't have to step down. I didn't have to do such and such because I had a stroke and aneurysm. So that was my excuse. Like I no longer can because I'm trying to get my health together. And you get to see, like, what, especially like Malika having autism, she gets older or whatever have you. Certain things she no longer enjoyed going to. Certain places she no longer enjoyed going to. And I was still taking her. Or I would go and I'm not taking her because I'm on the board, or and I'm making Mia to go. So it's just like I'm making Mia to go, and God, that's not even her sector. But it was just like much. God said we don't need to do all that no more. And I got to decide what was important to me, what I still wanted to do. Certain things I was going to step down, because honestly, in the beginning, I was ready to just step down off of everything because I didn't see my purpose. I couldn't speak, and y'all know how long have this been talking? Y'all know I like to talk. And when I came out the coma, I just felt like nobody needs to see this scary mess. I had all my hair shaved off. Like everything about me wasn't what I was accustomed to. So you sure can't think of presenting yourself to someone else like that. And that's the glory of tomorrow. I didn't know what tomorrow held. I was just holding on to that moment, thinking of what I couldn't do in that moment. Never once was I thinking, but one day you might. I just, that was my post today on Instagram. I thank God for these 10 pills that I have to take. Because guess what? It was at one point in time that I took so many more pills.
Right.
I know, honey, I'm on a Zoom right now. I sure can, but God bless you. So it's just like, you got to be thankful.
Okay.
Why you laughing? I was holding it together. I'm trying to have
okay,
a real touching moment.
Well, Jesus, Webb. We always have something. We always have some. Oh, God, okay.
I was trying to have a touching moment, and you laughed.
My friend.
What's wrong with her? That girl,
What's wrong
with that girl?
I'm surprised you ain't committed.
But
I'm surprised we ain't
don't get
committed
me
you
started.
yet.
Don't get me started with that, because when I opened my eyes, and it was like, where you at? I said, oh my God, he finally did it. He won. He finally had me committed. Yo, I'm telling you, everything in me was like, yo, Michael done went and had me committed.
I can't even imagine. I had to fly up to New York and be like, where my friend at?
Yo, everybody would, he wouldn't, ain't no way. Ain't no way. When I say the siblings was coming out in full drive, thank God, but he was alive there, was up from Atlanta. Well, he's not her ex-husband. That's my brother-in-law still. He came up to see me. When I say, the family, Adam and them, they calling from Louisiana. And it's funny because everybody's trying to figure out where I'm going to go. And Michael's like, she got my Like,
Figure
but
out.
I'm glad that happened because Jonay always was like, Auntie, like, I love you. Anything ever happens to you, I'm gonna take care of you. When I opened my eyes fully to stay awake, her and her father were the first things there. And it was like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, yeah, I recorded, I said their name. Because it's funny because I say they, the doctors and the nurses, was like, I was not going to remember anything. I was going to have to learn. And it's funny, I had to learn how to walk and all that other stuff, but like names and faces and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank God in the
I know,
blessing business, I'll tell
I
you.
know.
I'll say, well, you said everything that I wanted to say. You put it so elegantly, and we talked a
I was
little bit
elegant.
before and you're right. Certain people got removed for a reason. I found myself reminiscing over the fact that one of my siblings, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was my brother, my baby brother, had said, my mom had said, before she passed, Victoria hasn't matured yet. And I find myself reflecting on that. And at 52, I said it took me this long to mature. Like I was adult in age and body at 30 and 40, but my mind was not there, I guess, as far as the hits and the knocks that life has to give you, because I always try to see the best in every situation. And I'm not by any means saying that I'm a golden girl, because I'm not. I will get with you. But I give you more than the benefit of the doubt more than too many times. So as I'm getting older, I found out, just thinking about it last Thursday when I turned 52, I was like, I'm 8 years from 60. And I have wasted so much time giving people the benefit of the doubt that didn't need the benefit of the doubt, and bigging them up to make them feel better even when they was doing something malicious towards me. And now I think I want to take the rest of my time to do what Victoria do. I had a conversation with another young lady last Friday, and she said, Victoria, give yourself the same grace that you extend to other people. She said that compassion and grace that you have, she said, give it back to yourself.
Yep.
And I really thought about that. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. I know I find myself in help mode, because whenever we talk about it on the Freedom Fridays, but the people that follow me know, when you had a habit of doing something that kept you impaired, like alcohol kept me impaired, you don't really stop to think about the roses. When you do get cleaned up and God gives you that grace and mercy, you try to do everything right and make everybody feel good. And sometimes people see that and they take advantage of
They
it.
use it. Yep.
And then you find out that the good thing that you was doing, if you don't stop, then it's going to turn you into that nasty person that you don't want to be. So in order of being a wet alcoholic, you now a dry alcoholic. You still have the attitude, but you just don't have the bottle to go with it. So I said to myself last Thursday, I'm going to extend some of that grace back to myself.
That's it.
And work on the things that I can continue to work on, and by no means not try to get back to my community, because I'm definitely going to be out there in this election season if this new overgrown environment, I don't even know how to say
They'll
it.
shut y'all down. Yeah.
If they don't, if I was looking at that, that's what I meant to do, to see if I could bring it up on the whiteboard. I was playing with some of this stuff while I was waiting for Miss MizReRe to excel. I was
Yo, that
like,
girl was excelling. She done went shopping. She done went to get something to eat. See, I'm matter of fact, so if y'all see any food in my teeth, don't mind. That girl got food. That girl was eating. So, hey, she had fun. She was eating. But go on, I'm sorry.
but yeah,
You was having a serious moment.
I was
Like
having a
I was having that
50-year-old
serious
moment.
moment, and you laughed when that little man came, and
Yeah,
I was trying to be for real. But those are the things that happen when you're out in the streets.
yeah. It's
Man,
funny, but we say it all the time, but we are 8 years from being 60. And you know everything don't be moving like that, like it
at
should
all,
be moving.
at all. But let me tell you, I see, thank God for his grace and his mercy, because what I see is another chance. Like this is another leg of life. Everything that I did, I didn't do begrudgingly. Oh, where you at? You going?
I'm
Oh, where
here.
is it? You share your screen. Okay.
I'm
Put
sharing my
your
screen.
feet.
I'm
Okay,
playing.
yeah.
I'm showing off for you.
You touching buttons, girl. You showing
I'm
out.
showing off for you.
I hold my head down and get my little reusable bags together so I could go to the store. And I looked up, you was gone. You
I,
was
I I'm
touching, girl, you was touching buttons.
I'm showing off for you. That's if I can bring you back up. Are you there?
I'm still here.
I'm sure now I can't get the dang on thing off. That's just crazy.
I'm
It
getting my little
said
bags
share.
together.
Miss
Yeah,
Riri,
it
we say
says
this
shit. It says
every
12.
time.
We need to learn how to use this stuff.
We
And
say it
God
every
knows
time. I
we
just
got
knew.
everything there is, but don't know how
I
to use half the stuff.
don't know how to use
I know this.
nothing.
Yeah, let me tell you something. And that's why you gotta be careful. I'm talking about you now, Deanna. You gotta be careful of them kids. They be knowing everything. She know how to use all my stuff. You ask her, man, how to do this? I don't know. Or wait a minute. It's like, and I be feeling like my poor mother, and I be like, Mommy, I'm so sorry. Because you know when your mother need help, you be like, what? Like, oh, it is just like, and she's always saying, Lord, kids these days. And I didn't get it because I wasn't disrespectful to her or anything like that. But I get it. Yo, all I need is a little help. All I need you to do is just read this. All I need you to do is explain this to me. But I bet you if I start paying for all that stuff, but it is what it is. It keeps her occupied and she likes it. I don't know how to
Don't
use
go
half of
nowhere.
it.
It's spinning.
Yep.
Don't go anywhere. It's spinning. It's girl. Let me tell you something about that. This super internet that they swear that was so good by Spectrum, it's
Mm,
good, all right, but it still do the same thing that the other one did. If too many people in my building is pulling off
wow.
of it at a certain time of the day, it just spin. It wasn't the share screen, it was my internet. And it says it right now. I don't know if you can see it. It says your
Yeah.
internet connection is unstable. It's just crazy. It's not, you pay so much for so many things
Mm-hmm.
and you still can't get it to operate right. But that's the thing about technology. I was listening to a show the other day, and one of the teachers was saying that the transmitter went down in their school. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, unfortunately, we use technology for everything. And it was like, I think it was 107 degrees outside
Mm-hmm.
and the transmitter went down in the school, but we can't live with it and we can't live without it. But now we can't really complain about it not working like it's supposed to work. I guess that was my point.
It's reliability, and that goes to show with anything in life. When you put two, like they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. This is
Mm-hmm.
exactly for those visual people who didn't get it then. What's she talking about? Eggs? I ain't got no eggs. I ain't got no eggs. The literal people. But now this is the scenario when you put too many
Mm-hmm.
eggs in one basket. So now when case in point, New York, everything the MTA. So God forbid if the turnstiles break down and you can't,
Mm-hmm.
go through it, people's gonna hop. To them, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
look like people stealing. No, I wanted to pay my money, but now I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
You put all this stuff into technology. That's why kids, when everybody was on lockdown, That's why people didn't know how and why. Kids didn't know how and why. Think like if you knew how to do things on computer and you couldn't virtually do this, or you now have
Mm-hmm.
to virtually do that, pick up a pen. Some people don't know about pen and paper. Try writing a letter. And I still,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that girl. I'm still writing letters. I still send cards. I'm still that person.
Mm-hmm.
It is not that easy to find a card, like stuff like
Mm-mm.
that, because things is
Mm-mm.
done away with.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
keep telling people, and what everybody needs to understand is smart is not so smart as far as these technologies. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these gadgets, they're only as smart as you are.
Are.
You still
Mm-hmm.
have to control it. But there's going to
Mm-hmm.
come a time when these things is going to uprise. We watched enough Terminators and everything else. They go
Mm-hmm.
uprise because we keep feeding all this knowledge into them. So you better
Mm-hmm.
know how to do things manually. Because
Mm-hmm.
when things shut down, let's say you're depending on the ATMs to get all your money out or to get your money out.
Mm-hmm.
You're depending on all the stuff. It stops working. What's going to happen?
Yep. Well, I was saying before I start messing around with that, because I was trying to show you the clipping of what they were saying about COVID, but
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about COVID because I'm hoping it don't do what it say it's gonna do. Because my plan is, I don't know what podcasting gonna do, what it's gonna do, and I might gonna be podcasting on the run, but I plan on being out in them streets in
Well, I don't know what's
2024,
going to happen to me and
25
my crew,
with
my
the
little crew.
election season coming up. I plan on being out there. I've already got invited to a political party. I'm not going to say which one, and I think I'm just going to go and hobnob with some people. But I plan on being out there in them streets. Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I don't care who you vote for. That's not my deal. Just like Christianity and spiritual and all that stuff's not my deal. But I want to give back to the community, and I want to get more people that look like us signed up. If I got to go knock on doors with the clipboard in my hand,
Hey,
because it
that's all.
matters. And they passed those new they not new. They passed that law here in North Carolina, no party law. So
Oh,
on our
wow.
ballot, we don't have to vote for a party now.
Wow.
It's going to be on our ballot. So we don't have to be Democrat, Republican, or liberal.
So, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, North Carolina is a red
What kind of,
state.
I was going to, well, I guess you said,
We're usually like the last of the like 8 or maybe 5
wow.
that determines the outcome of the presidency. They're always waiting for North Carolina and Florida, and it's always been a red state. I can't remember the last time North Carolina has been a blue state. I think it was probably back, and no, it wasn't even under Obama. We wasn't blue when Obama did his 8 years either. We've always been a red state.
Yeah, I'm thinking back. Yeah.
But that's my goal. I want to be out there. I guess I'm getting some of the old people syndrome, and that's what I meant to do. I meant to hook my phone up this computer so I could show y'all my tomatoes and my peppers. Remember, I sent you a picture of my pepper
Yes, I've
yesterday?
seen it. I've
I
seen it.
got
It's
3
so,
tomatoes that I didn't even see. They green. They're about this big. They was hiding under all the bushes.
look at that.
My sister said,
That's
"You better
cool.
pick those green tomatoes, girl. Make you some fried green tomatoes."
Some
She said,
fried green tomatoes.
yeah, that's what she said. She said, I already picked a few of mine, but she got her garden like outside her backyard. She said, girl, I done made me some fried green tomatoes and everything. I said, well, I don't have that many, so I want to see them turn in the juicy red big steak ones, because I think I only had like 8 on those little bulbs.
Okay.
So I want to see them do what they do. But in any event, we got 10 minutes. What we gonna talk about? It's gonna be 6 in a minute.
Oh my God, you for real? Your girl been
Mhm.
outside. I know
You've
my
been
food
out
like,
there.
listen,
I
what?
started with you this morning on and off. You've been on the go. You look exhausted a little bit too. You look a little
Girl, I
tired.
done been out. I've been out and I'm sitting here on this bed. And what I look like is a girl with itis. And
I do
that's
too.
that's why I definitely went to the store because I live, right across the street from Yankee Stadium. One day I got, I wonder if I could turn around.
When did we do Yankum Stadium yet? We ain't did Yankum Stadium yet.
I don't know. If so, we're gonna do it again.
Oh, okay.
Give me a minute, y'all. Y'all know I'm on a walker. Okay. Oh, you know what I could do too? Wait a minute.
Hey, you know what I want you to do for
What?
me?
What?
I want you to the only way that
I'm whispering. What?
the only way that I'll wear one of them jean jackets that you got 1,000 of is if you make me one like a vest and cut the sleeves out. And you know how it has the little friendly things? Because y'all, she trying to make me wear a jean jacket with patches all
What?
over it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
That's the noisy
look.
train station.
Look. Yeah, she's taking us to her.
That's Yankee Stadium. Let me
You
get a
wasn't
where it
living
says
over
Yankee
there when I
Stadium.
was in New York. No, she wasn't.
No, I was in the
You was in
is this the fan Yankee? I think that's where
the
gate six.
gate.
Yeah. All right. So it's that above me says Yankee Stadium. But I'm scared to
Uh-huh.
touch the buttons to make it. Can you see it? I feel like
Yeah.
that's Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I can see
And
it.
across the street is where the original Yankee Stadium was at. But now that's where the minor leaguers play.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
called
busy
the
over there too.
yeah, it's wow, you think that's in 161st Street.
Well,
It's
why
very
could I
busy over
hear
there.
all of that stuff when you were still close by when I was there? Because I could hear it in the background, or
The
was it there?
bridge. It was still like the bridges over there. You can hear like I wasn't that far, but it wasn't this that you was hearing because they didn't start all this until I moved over here because I've been living over in this area now. Let's see, Miana's 14, and we didn't even have Miana yet
Hmm.
because Miana was conceived over here. It's it's a saw. I forgot the name of the saw. And that's what we be laughing because I'm like Grand Concourse, and then I'm like, well, technically I wasn't born on the Grand Concourse. We was born on the Grand Concourse. So, but yeah, me and I was born over here. So we've been over here for about maybe 14, 15 years now. And this is
Wow.
like the historical Grand Concourse area. And like I said, this
Time
is
is
Yankee
flying.
Stadium. Yeah, it is. Definitely is.
You know how the Book of Faces always say, you got memories to look back on. A memory
Mm-hmm.
popped up on me today,
Ah,
and it has been 8 years since I moved in this apartment, and I had took a picture of Desiree and Tamori because I had just finished their hair. You know,
wow.
Sundays was our hair day, and they
Uh-huh.
wanted some color in their hair. Desi wanted blue, and Tamori wanted pink.
Okay.
And I had braided them some pieces of weave in their bob, just one little piece. It was back to school because you know it's back to school here
Like
this
that.
week. And I
I
had
didn't.
braided them a little bit of color. I don't see your green today. I don't
Oh,
see
for
it.
real? You don't see? Well, I got on my
Maybe
Fay
I gotta
hat.
take my
This is
glasses on.
yeah, and then I got my my hat spot.
You got
Yeah,
your
that's
hat.
my Fay hat. That my sister, my Fay, my best
Oh, I
sister,
see
my
it
best sister.
now. I see
Fay,
it
she
now.
that's her hat. All right, so yeah,
I
most of
see
the
it
green was
now.
up. See it
That's why I
now?
was telling you earlier. I said you doing one of my days last week, even though my hair was done. I just felt like kicking around in a baseball cap. So I wore all black, like tank top dresses and tank tops,
Mm-hmm.
and I put on my pink baseball cap. I just felt like I wanted to just do the B girl style last
Yeah,
week.
I took Fay with me to the hospital purposely because triannually I go. I have to get a procedure done, and
hmm
so when I went to the hospital and got my stats, they have, you have to do the wellness clearance.
hmm
So I have my procedures coming up, and actually a week after next. So I have to go. What always bugs me out how you go for these wellness checks like a week or two before your procedure. Then you go and
hmm
have, what can happen in 2 weeks.
hmm I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
tell
do
you
you
what.
really know what can
You know
happen in
what
two
bugs
weeks?
me out? You talking about bugging you out? I'm gonna tell you what bugs me out is when, like, I just turned 52 and I had every doctor's appointment in the world leading up to my birthday.
Yeah.
Mammogram, blood work, gynecologist.
Mhm.
I said I was on a roll for like 2 weeks in and out the
That was us
doctor's
2 weeks
office.
ago. Between
Mm-hmm.
myself and the girls, yo, we had a doctor's appointment every single day except for Friday. And that was for 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
straight.
That's
Two
because they
weeks
like to
straight.
get out early on Fridays. They don't be trying
So
to schedule nobody.
honestly, I don't schedule normally I don't schedule on Fridays or Mondays. But me
Mhm,
Anna had to have one, and I say had to. Technically, she probably didn't have to because they didn't ask for it. But I definitely wanted her to go to the hospital for her yearly before she
mhm,
started in her new school. I just like my kids to always go back to the hospital. I mean, go back to
mhm.
school with that because
With a
somewhere along the
clean
line they're
bill.
going to ask you to go and do that. So I just like my kids to go
Mhm,
before the new year. And then to me is this they always just go in like June because they're out, out of school, June and July, because they're out of school. They don't have to worry about missing no
mhm,
school days or whatever. But me, Anna, we for two visits, we ended up having to reschedule. I just leave it at that. And me, Anna, Malika went for hers, but me, Anna didn't make it for hers. So then this
mhm.
third time, the doctor had something clear on that Monday. And I was like, you know what, we'll take her. But normally on Mondays and Fridays, I don't do doctor's appointments.
Mhm. Well, mine was lined up back to back to back. The only one that I didn't get to is my orthopedic for my back. And I just thought about that just now. He said that I needed to see a non-surgical orthopedic this time, and because he wasn't willing to cut on me again. Glory be to God.
Thank God.
So I
Thank
don't know if
God.
that's gonna involve physical therapy again, which I hated going to physical therapy 3 to 4 times a week. I just hated that, but it is what it is. In any
What
event, I am
what
so
I like
happy to catch
now,
up with you.
yeah, I do too. I'm just gonna say this one last part is that things are so invasive now. Technology don't how they could do surgeries, that bugs me out. But I'm gonna go. But they could take that little thing, like with me, they no longer have to like cut into my brain and stuff anymore. They this little tube goes in
Mhm.
there. It's just like, but they
Mhm.
go through like your groin or your arm. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, like this is beautiful. I don't have to keep getting reopened all the freaking time.
Mhm. I
But
was wondering
it
how
was
they
good.
got this little small cut on my back and got them 3 rods in there like that. I mean, you can barely
They can
tell,
do it.
but I was in so much pain, you would think they opened my whole back up.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally, when nobody was here, scooting on my belly to get to the bathroom. Literally
Yep.
scooting, and it would take me forever with trying to do, and you couldn't really move your elbows. And so if I was in pain that bad, the crutches did no good. And then I couldn't get up by myself to sit on the high toilet chair that my sister brought over for me so I wouldn't have to go to the bathroom anyway. And I'm so bougie, I always like to wash. And my mom was determined to do something, and my body was saying, you can't do
Mhm.
that. But
Happens.
that's one thing that I will say. And, I'm tired of putting caps on stuff. So I'm going to just say it because sometimes you just got to say it the way it needs to be said. Thank you, Fee. She'll catch that inside joke. Us Black women, we are resilient. We are resilient in all things that we do. We are resilient, whether we have kids or not. We do a lot of stuff with grace and poise, and we go through a lot of stuff because of our skin tone that no other woman can possibly phantom. No disrespect to any other race, but we are the epitome of grace and resilience. And that's just the way I see it.
Thank God for resilience, bounce back, determination, and drive. And that's something that honestly resides in us all. But we just
Mhm,
gotta tap into wanting it to come alive.
mhm,
But I tell you,
mhm.
it's it's not always easy. It's
It's
that's the
not.
thing. it's not always easy. And like they say, well, that's easier said than done. I get that. I get that because like when depression sets in and stuff, and this is like why they can't get up and you know, things are
You don't
not
know unless you've been through it.
exactly. It's a lot of things are easier said than done. So hats
You know,
off.
I gotta say
Hats
this.
off.
I'll say the last thing since you brought that up. When every time, and I never watched it. I think I probably watched like 2 or 3 minutes of it. Every time I see that show, the 600 pound whoever, and they're bedridden and their children have to go in. I think I seen one black lady. She was like over 800 pounds, and it's my big something 800 pound mom or whatever they call it. And I felt so sorry for the teenagers because before they had to go to school, their job was to go in and wash and take care of their mother because she couldn't leave the bed. And her meal was like 5 plates of a one meal that'll make us full. And I was being a little critical until until I matured and said, you never know what somebody's going through to get to the point. So when you said that, that just triggered, it brought up an old memory of me chastising myself saying, don't ever knock what else somebody else can do because you never know what they can do. Even though I don't know how to be anything else than a black woman, and I think that's just superwoman, you still don't know what nobody else story is.
You just don't know. I mean, right now, sitting on this bench, somebody could walk by and just assume, wow, I wish I could just sit here all day and have nothing else to do. They walk better than me. They could see, they would have no idea of what I've been through. People will have no idea looking at you, what you've been through. So it's easy to speculate. Just don't know.
You don't.
You just
In any
stay
event,
hard.
we only went over 4 minutes.
Oh, well,
Guys,
let's stop it. Okay.
we miss you, and we're gonna be coming back into the fold. Both of us got our hands a little bit full, but you're gonna start seeing us back here on a regular basis, and then we might take a break before the holidays and come back in after holidays. Don't forget, if you guys want to join us for the Freedom Friday Girls Chat Cruise, go to 12thStreetTalkBack.com and you can leave a message over there. Visit my beautiful new website. You can leave a message, or you can leave it written, or you can leave it in voicemail and all that good stuff. Peace and blessings to you all. If you can't do nothing else, give somebody a kind word, but a hot meal goes a long way. I know, and the spot.
Yo, you know
I'm
me.
gonna tell you when we get off.
Oh God, what I do? I was being good.
You did good. You just did so. Every time we hear. Peace and blessing. I'm Victoria J.
And I'm MizReRe.
Look at her. Look at her. She needed that break, y'all. She needed the... Peace and blessings, y'all.